What's up, guys? So UFC 294, I want to talk a little bit about the co-main event. It was Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev. I was very excited for this fight. I thought that was an awesome match. Um, when Chimaev was a welterweight, I thought it would have been awesome if he faced Kamaru Usman. At the time, Kamaru Usman was a very dominant welterweight champion. So yeah, it was very difficult for them to cross paths then. Usman was just dealing with a lot of other things, a lot of other opponents, defending his title against Masvidal more than once, and Kobe Covington, and it was just Chimaev was coming up the ranks, and he was barely making weight at 170 back then. But I thought their styles, you know, were pretty amazing, especially if you put them together and to face each other. I was looking forward for them to meet up, and meet up they did in UFC 294 earlier today, and yeah, it was it was a very good fight for what it was, because unfairly, or however you want to put it, Kamaru Usman uh, took this fight on short notice at 185 middleweight weight, and Chimaev wasn't training for Kamaru Usman, so the fight was a little bit awkward. Um, Very impressive that Khamzat Chimaev. It was a 3-rounder, and the first round, Chimaev just completely dominated Kamaru Usman on the ground. It was just the perfect round for him. He took Kamaru Usman down on the first, within the first minutes. Took a single leg and just stuck to it, and he brought Kamaru Usman down. Kamaru Usman, who usually used his wrestling to win a lot of, to come up the ranks. At one point, he was even called a boring fighter because he used to wrestle way too much back in the day. Yeah, Chimaev made short work of him on the ground. He took a single leg, he brought him down, took his back and stay on his back, and grounded and pounded and threatened with submissions, rear naked choke, and everything. To his credit, Kamaru Usman defended. He didn't get submitted, but it was just that round he was just completely dominated. And think about that, man. That's no easy task. You are not supposed to just walk through Kamaru Usman, not even on short notice, because first of all, Khamzat Chimaev was not training to face Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru Usman used to be, he's a former welterweight champion. Not only just a former welterweight champion, he wasn't champion for just a few months. This guy was very dominant as the champion that he was. You just don't walk through that guy, and that's exactly what Khamzat Chimaev did, and it was very impressive. But in the second round, he kind of lost momentum. Kamaru Usman did a lot better. He did good on the stand-up. I thought that maybe because just to sell the fight, the commentators were alluding that Chimaev was in a lot of trouble on the stand-up. Yeah, he wasn't looking great. He kind of was very hesitant, pulling the trigger, throwing punches. He wasn't doing it as much, exchanging. And Chimaev is more aggressive in the stand-up, so that surprised me a little bit. But from what I hear, he broke his hand. We found that out after the fight. I'm not sure if that's true, but it would explain it a lot. Nonetheless, I don't think Usman ever had Chimaev in any real danger. I just don't feel it. I don't think it. I saw the fight, and I don't think Chimaev was ever really in trouble. Yes, there were moments where Kamaru Usman looked good because Chimaev attempted a lot of takedowns, and Usman stuffed him. You know, he was defending, but he was getting tired. And in third round, um, just Chimaev kept persisting and persisting, and he eventually took um, Kamaru Usman down again and out wrestled him again. He did it late in the round, but he did it. And Khamzat Chimaev took the win by decision. I thought it was the right decision, and I see a lot of pundits throwing shade at Chimaev because he looked human against Kamaru Usman. You know that because a lot of people thought that Khamzat Chimaev was just going to ragdoll Kamaru Usman because it was short notice. And I don't think so, man. I think that's kind of a disrespect to Kamaru Usman. You just don't walk through Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is a big guy. He's strong, bro. He knocked out people like Jorge Masvidal. He fought Colby Covington twice. He didn't gas. They went toe to toe. You know, this guy is the real deal. So as good as aggressive as Khamzat Chimaev is, I never thought for a moment that he was just going to walk through a guy. So it's kind of disrespectful to think that he was going to do that. Nonetheless, I think the right guy won. I think Khamzat Chimaev has, he's undefeated so far, man. I do think that he needs to work on his stand-up. I hope that really he broke his hand and that's why he was so hesitant this time. But he is gonna face, a middleweight fighters that have superb stand-up, man, superb stand-up. So he better up his game as far as the stand-up is concerned. But in the grappling, the guy is a savage. He's a beast. He gets you, man. He gets you whether you're against the fence or in the middle of that ring. He makes short work of you and he dominates you. It's incredible the way he does it, man. And very excited to see what he does next. And I think the UFC and Dana White should keep the guy busier, give him more matches and stuff because he's young. He's in his prime right now, and I think he is championship material. But they better build that legacy up good, anyways, thanks guys for listening to me. Those are my thoughts. It's gonna be I'm curious to see what Kamaru Usman does next too. He's been alluding a lot to retirement, but he looked good, man. He still looks good, and I think he's still very competitive. So yeah, thanks guys for listening. Give me likes, dislikes, subscribe to my channel. I love MMA. Thank you. Peace.